Okay, are you ready to go? I guess we're all ready to go, aren't we? Okay, so this is the last chapter, page 54. This is just a sort of a final reminder as we're helping our customers to move to independence. There are a couple of things that we need to make sure that they're doing. For example, registering to vote, making sure they check the supplemental Social Security, that they're applying for waivers if they have, if they're eligible, but also making sure that they're keeping track of important documentation. Okay, Social Security cards, bank statements, other emergency and health information. Again, so this is just a checklist to help them sort of make that start. Last but not least, as I mentioned before, there are 16 activities that are included in this book, and hopefully we can, if you are working with your customers on this, we'll get them to do all 16, because it's really a truly way to help them forge that path to independence. I do want to mention that we have additional resources in the back of the book, websites, additional online resources, I should say. I just wanted to point out, too, that this is a screenshot from the Sense and Sensibility website, which we'll go to in just a second. But this is the Money Club. This is a group of individuals with disabilities that were testing this program. They did a pilot program, testing the curriculum to see if it would be helpful and useful to them, and a lot of great feedback from the Money Club on this. So again, this is a home page, the home page, and you'll notice that the top menu has information on all of the chapters. And included in that, there's a drop-down menu which tells about the topics, also gives you the activities that are related to that topic. Again, all through the curriculum. I do want to point out that the very last, I'm not sure if you can see it, the worksheets, if you can highlight that page. This is all of the worksheets that you can download. You can have your clients fill them out and save them. All in a row. So even if you're working with the booklet, you can still go online, print out all of these sheets, or give them the assignment to fill out the worksheets and have their own sort of activity kit for themselves. As Becky mentioned before, going through each of the chapters, you can help your clients or your customers to input their own information. You can save the information. You can print it out without saving it if your customers don't feel comfortable with saving that on their computer. Also, it does the math for you. So when you're entering in your expenses or your needs and your wants, that follows over to the worksheet for your cash flow. So it's kind of a cool companion to use with the booklet. So I encourage you to explore that. Go through the booklet again and explore the sister site and all the resources that you have access to.
And one other thing to note is when you go to the website in the top right corner there under the worksheet bar, you can see the font size can be changed. So if you've got people with low vision, they can certainly make the font bigger, smaller. So that's one very helpful thing. And obviously screen readers can pick up some of these the stuff on the screen. Do you think that your customers will benefit from the information in this book? And you've had access to this book in the past, but it's one of those things where when you don't really look at it, or if you haven't really walked through it to see what's in there, you may not realize what a fantastic tool this can be. So, yay, you all gave the right answer. Obviously, we're here to make sure that you are using this book with the customers and that they utilize this and, again, get on the road to independence. If you honestly do not think it will help your customers, please let us know why in the commentary when you give your actual feedback, because I'd be curious to find out why you don't think it's helpful, or if you think this is above their heads in some cases, or if we're not starting back at the beginning. We'd love some feedback on that. So yes, there's a question in the back.
Are you doing any work with the Department of Ed to get this out in the schools?
The question was, are we doing any work with the Department of Ed to get this out in the schools? I can tell you that the PATF, the writers of the book, have been trying to get inroads with PDE. It's been difficult, and we have 500 autonomous school districts in the state of Pennsylvania, which makes this really fun. This might be the kind of thing where it just takes a couple of parents who find out about this booklet and take it to the schools and get the schools using it and implementing it. But so far there hasn't been success in getting it out statewide, but I know there are some efforts to do so. So.
Well, and it might be worth a conversation too, just within your own staff. I mean, what connections that you have, with the Department of Education, or that you're working with, or staff out in the field is working with, to just, have that conversation with them about how important, not only for individuals with disabilities, but for all of us to have this information and be able to practice, good financial habits.
Right. Well, I know we were talking to, and oh, sure.
I'm sorry. I just was curious. How can we obtain more books if we run out of what we've already received?
I'm looking at Sarah. The question was, how can we get more books? One, it's online at PATF's website, and you can download it from their website, which I believe is it patf.us? Their website. It's on the back page of the PowerPoint. I do know that. But their website, you can download this book. You can also order more books. There is a cost to them. It's not cheap because of the quality of the paper and the binding. So OVR spent a lot of money to get everybody books in the field. But they can be downloaded, and again, it can be done online. And do you have another answer to that, Sarah?
Just to add, so everyone understands, the book is meant for staff to sit down and be able to work through with the customers. Many of the worksheets, as both Becky and Holly have said, are on the website. So then that could serve as a supplement to the book to be working through everything with the customers. It's not necessarily meant to hand the book out to every customer, if that makes sense.
You can encourage them to download.
Oh, and the other thing I was going to mention is within OVR at the Hiram G. Andrews Center, I understand that the book is used within the core program. As part of the life skills curriculum, teaching some of the financial education pieces. So a small subset of our staff is already using the information with this, and we hope to see it expand.
And the fact that the book is now in the website version as well, that's going to make it a lot easier too. But it's nice to have the hard copy for yourselves so that you've got the tool. Any other questions? Well, just in case, we'll still wait. If questions interrupt, that's fine. But the last sheet of the PowerPoint. Oh, okay.
I feel that I would like to let our transition council in the Schuylkill County, and I'm sure Berks County will do that, let them be made aware of, because this may be something that they would like you to present to the councils on. It's a good way to start to get it in the school districts for the students with disabilities, for the transition councils to become aware that this exists, and then they might want the same type of training that you just did with us this morning, and that would start to introduce it to each school district, because each school district sends a member to the council meetings.
Thank you. It was a statement, not a question, for those of you who couldn't hear, about working with transition councils within the school district and making sure they're aware of the resource, so I'm just reiterating that for the captioner. And then the last slide we have up is Holly's information with PHFA, how to reach her via phone or email. My information is in the middle, and then the PATF with Susan Tackow is at the end there. So if you need more information from any one of us, we can all help with that. And we are happy, Holly and I would be happy to come out and do more presentations if there are audiences that this will be useful for, and we believe there are several, so including education. And I was going to say, I do have a son. He's on the autism spectrum, and he's 12, so I'm still in the middle of everything, which is why I forgot what IEP means. But doing the financial education, it's been interesting just to see what our school district has done, and so far he's had some things through, not Jumpstart, the other one. Help me. JA, Junior Achievement, has come into the classroom and done some basic financial education in grades, it was K through 5, and I'm very curious what's going to pick up now that he's in middle school, because it seems like more and more when you've got someone with special needs, they go to the sort of the life skills things, which is also important, but this isn't part of it, and obviously I'm passionate about making this part of it personally, so again, if you know of conferences where we can speak or have other ideas, please let us know, because we're happy to keep spreading the word about this tool and financial education in general. So 1 minute to spare. Any other questions?
Just to follow up from Reading comments, you mentioned perhaps presenting at a conference. There is a big transition conference every summer. Have you considered presenting there?
Actually, the question was, there's the big transitions conference every summer. I was there this summer with Susan Tackow presenting on this. So yes, we were there, and hopefully we'll be there again in the future.
Okay, thank you, everybody. With that, I think we're going to wrap up. If you do have other questions, you have the contact information, and I can certainly serve as a go-between if necessary. And I want to thank Denise for bringing this resource to our attention and then allowing me to work with Holly and Becky to get the presentation pulled together. And I also appreciate your participation with Poll Everywhere, and I'm happy that technology actually worked the way it should work, so that was exciting. So we will go ahead and sign off, and as you're leaving your conference rooms, please make sure you've signed the roster and completed an evaluation so that we can process any credits for this session. Thank you, everybody.
The conference recording has ended.